Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, okay, it's Christmas time. And do you know, this is such a stressful time. By the way, I'm Kai Graham and I am the in-house parenting expert with the Eden Room. And I am here to support you with all things parenting. And I was trying to think what I could help you with over Christmas because it's so stressful. But do you know what? A lot of the things that people don't talk about are the toxic relationships and the toxicity of families. Not always, I'm not, don't sort of think that I'm the harbinger of doom, but most families have someone that they'd rather do without around the Christmas table, do you know what I mean? And I am going to highlight a few types of toxic people so you know what to look out for, okay, if that makes sense. And it's just, it could be a bit tongue-in-cheek, but it's also, I bet when I sort of mention some of these characteristics, you go, oh yeah, that's Kevin, or oh yeah, that's Granny, or oh, do you know what I mean? And it's just working out, well, what the heck do we do? So it's how do you deal with, let's call them colourful characters, but invariably these people, and I've got notes on this one because, there can be quite a long list, and I don't want to miss any out. I'd be doing you a disservice around your turkey. So it's really, people I find I sort of look at it as toxic relationships. If they bring too much stress or they bring too much negativity into your life. So the first type of toxic person is the drama queen. The people that love chaos, they sort of dine out on being a bit of a diva. They are seeking attention. They don't like solution to problems. I have clients like this, for goodness sake, and it's a catalogue of errors. Oh, you don't understand my life. Oh, it's just absolutely, everything's awful. Everything's just, oh, there's just so much going on. You say, well, why don't you try? Oh, no, you don't understand. I couldn't possibly do that. And the thing is that they're sort of enjoying the limelight with their catalogue of errors. So in order to deal with this sort of person, the solution really is distance yourself from them, because truth be told, they are wanting the limelight, and so however you try and distract them from that ain't going to work. And you might have tried it before, and if you have, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And so the trick is just to sort of pull back from it and distance yourself from the drama, because that really helps. Okay, the doom and gloom monger. Anyone have one of those? Yeah, the Christmas is ruined. Well, actually, don't joke. Come on. We all felt a bit like that last year, didn't we? I mean, I remember the amount of times my Christmas plans changed thanks to COVID. But we still had a lovely time. And I think the thing is that, yes, we could all sort of feel grey and look at pessimism and sort of, just make life really, really tricky for ourselves. But if you're not careful, you get sucked into all that and it turns into a bit of a competition. So the trick really here is that I'm a glass half full person. And so, it was, oh, this is absolutely awful and this is all, and yeah, but at least we're together. Or, sort of, because we were meant to have a Christmas of sort of, I think there was going to be 17 people and there was no way that was allowed to happen. And so we got to the stage of, well, what on earth are we going to do? And so we had to go and sort of collect my mum from Liverpool. But at least she's not on her own. So rather than, oh, it's absolutely awful, try and look on the bright side. Try and see the sort of silver lining to the cloud. And avoid meeting this, everything's ruined, everything's going to hell in a handcart. And avoid meeting it head on. Just be we don't need to be the harbinger of doom. So it's a matter of, yeah, that's okay, but there are bright, there is a bright side, and it's sort of worth counting our blessings, if you know what I mean. Pause. Oh yeah, right. Now then, anyone got a Mr. or Mrs. I'm always right in their family? They railroad you with their opinions. If I said mansplaining, you'd know what I mean. You know, do you know what? And it's just those bad communicators who are on send but not receive. So it's all blah 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 at you. They're talking at you the whole time. They just have their own point of view, and it could be, well, young man, this is what you should be doing with your life, or it's just sort of all. I do remember once being told, Michael doesn't like his turkey cooked this way, and I thought, Michael, do you know what I mean? And the trick is they don't listen to other people's points of view. They think they're always right. And do you know what the best thing to do is? Smile sweetly and nod and go, mm-hmm. I mean, my darling husband sort of just looks at them square in the eye and goes, yes, thank you for sharing that, which is quite to the point. Those thicker skinned don't even know what he's doing. But the point is that it's nod and withdraw. Try not to compete for airtime, because this Mr. or Mrs. Always Right isn't going to hear your opinion, and they're just going to talk over you. We all have one of these, the worry wart, the what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? I mean, I'm speaking, my mum is a bit like this. What happens if this doesn't? And I go, hang on a minute, that's months away. What are you worrying about? Or, oh, what happens? No. Let's not worry about stuff that's ruining, the future stuff that's ruining today. Don't do that. Let's just look at today. Let's be grateful for what we're doing. How can we sort the short term out? I remember Alice, sort of using the phrase, a fun sponge. Well, that's what the worry warts do. And we don't want these sort of people around the kitchen. Well, we don't want any of these toxic people around our Christmas lunch, but it's just how to deal with them and how to spot them. And gosh, imagine putting a worry wart and a Mr. or Mrs. Always Right together. Maybe you just put them all in sort of one end of the table. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Just sort of sitting back and letting them get on with it. But I think the thing is that the worry wart, basically, they fret about what may or may not happen. And 95% of the stuff they worry about doesn't even happen anyway. So what's the point of ruining today for it? So I think the thing is just thanking them for being so realistic and just concentrate on what brings you joy. Why not? Concentrate on, the now, and because that's all we've got, really, isn't it? And I think that's what COVID has taught us is the simple things. We are unable to plan too far ahead, and that's all right. We've learned that some of these trappings aren't important. We've learned that we can't worry so much about the future, and we may as well just enjoy the present. And that always helps. The victim. The victim never ever takes responsibility of his or her own actions. They blame others, which is so draining. This is so unfair, and my life is and there's, someone's making me feel this way, or someone's done this to me, or you don't understand my situation. They're a master of manipulation, and it can be quite subtle, or it actually can be quite in your face, but they are very good at playing the sympathy card and getting their own way, if that makes sense. And the trick is actually, if you dare, is call their bluff. Play them at their own game. Sort of find out what their sort of triggers are, find out what their manipulation is, and just sort of, do you know what? You just said, I don't think that's very fair. Or, come on, you can't be right. That's not right. And just, it's a fine line, but I think sometimes it's just the victim needs to be reminded. And again, I've had clients like this. Sort of one guy came to me and he said, I'm very cross with you. All right, heck. This was in my earlier days, and I just sort of thought, oh my gosh, what have I got to do? I've got to bend over backwards here. And I sort of said, no, please tell me, how can I make it better? What's wrong? He said, you haven't cured my depression. And I went, well, this is our second session. And he had been seeing I think he'd seen 6 people for depression for the last 30 years. And I suddenly went, do you know what? I'm not going to be able to sort this guy out either. The experts previous to me hadn't been able to. He was not taking responsibility. He was expecting a magic pill. And I think this is what the victim does, is they blame everyone else and for their own misfortunes. And I just said to the guy, do you know what? I'm not going to be able to help you here because we are not a good fit. And so I just called him out on it. And he was, well, actually, no, I think we really ought to try. And I went, no, I said, thank you so much for your time. But no, I don't think you and I are going to be able to get the results that you need. And it was like, oh, well, that was quite liberating for me. And I think sometimes we need to call out the victim and maybe shine a light to let them know, actually, they need to take a bit of responsibility of what's going on rather than blaming anyone else. The drainer and the complainer. I say that life has two sets of people, the radiators and the drainers. The radiators make you feel great, they make you feel warm, they make you feel wonderful. And the drainers are the ones that don't. The drainers are the ones that make you feel, oh God, so negative and just like you need to have your batteries recharged, and they leave you just feeling bleh. I know most families have one or two of these, and I think the thing is just find out where you're coming from a positive point of view, and actually, given half a chance, stay out of their company. You need to surround yourself with sunshiny people, the people that build you up, the people that are interested in you, the people that want to help you and facilitate you, the people that want you to feel good and make you feel good, because we need more radiators and less drainers in our life, let's face it. So watch out for those people, because it can be hard work. Next. The petulant child, and they don't necessarily have to be of child age. They are the ones that have the tantrums. They are the ones that have sort of childish outbursts, attention seeking, sulking, all that sort of stuff. Irrational behaviour, really. That's really what it is. And they're sort of, can be sort of passive aggressive as well, you know, and they sort of have these tantrums, and if someone sort of calls them out, oh, stop being so sensitive, you know, if they've got cross with us or something, and it's just a way of manipulating other people for their own gains. And let's face it, they trample all over your boundaries. So the trick is to put your big girl or boy pants on and go, no, actually, I'm not putting up with this. I don't need to. They are hard to reason with, but again, I think the thing is like many other toxic people, it's just don't give them airtime. Rob them that character of the oxygen, or the flame, the oxygen that fans their flames, if you know what I mean. So it's just stay calm, but withdraw. Because you don't need it, especially at Christmas. But you know, we need to maintain our energy levels. We need to lower our stress levels, and we need to surround us with people that make us feel good. Okay. There's another type of toxic person that, I mean, all of these people you get, you know, outside. These are great lessons for life, not just Christmas. But it's just that when we're around Christmas, sometimes we can't avoid these people, especially the blimmin' family. Do you know what I mean? But the gossip monger is, and I've got a particular person in my mind that I'm thinking of, who it's dangerous. They need to fuel their own lives, maybe by the misery of others, or just feeling that power of having a snippet of conversation, a snippet of information that actually I am finding out sometimes isn't even true. So I think the trick is don't even get embroiled into it, because otherwise, believe you me, and it's happened to me in the past, when I've sort of, I've even tried to express an opinion or change, sort of saying, well, that's not quite, when I've tried to do that, it's sort of that you've been misconstrued or you've been misquoted, because this person sort of, I remember in my situation, and it wasn't Christmas, but this person in my sort of situation, let's say, was having an opinion about Mr. Briggs's whatever garden, and she said, oh, well, when I was speaking to Kai about Mr. Briggs's garden, what we were thinking is, no, but do you see what I mean? Is that you get embroiled in someone else's unkindness and gossip. So the trick is there, say nothing so you cannot be misquoted. And I have been asked a number of times and have just said, I'm not taking this any further. This is not my conversation to have. And it really used to make me feel quite uncomfortable by sort of diffusing the conversation so quickly, but it's safer. It really is safer. So that's sort of what you're looking out for. I mean, the list is, it goes on and on. There is the judger. I can't even remember how many we're up to. It doesn't really matter. But what I'm trying to show you is there are lots of different types of people that will steal your magic if you let them. There is the judger. Why are you doing that? What on earth? As in, what are you wearing? Or why have you taken that career choice? Or you really should be treating your so-and-so better. Or why do you let your child sort of run roughshod over you? Do you know what I mean? The person that is always judging you for whatever decisions you are making. They are criticizing, they are hurtful. All these people, let's face it, have their own insecurities. And they are trying to undermine you. And I remember when Jack was little, my son, I used to sort of say, well, this is because those sort of people are feeling sad and muddled inside. And so they are trying to get some sort of gratification out of it to make themselves feel better. And that's what we need to do. And we do not, I sort of say to myself, not my circus, not my monkeys. And we do not need to be embroiled in someone else's drama. So, yes, respect their point of view if you want to. But remember your own model of the world. Remember your own values. Remember, yes, walk a mile in their shoes and you go, all right, I can understand what's going on here. It might give you a little pointer towards compassion and understand maybe why they are behaving in such a way. But you don't have to condone it. You don't have to be embroiled in it all. You don't have to sign up to their model of the world. And remember where your boundaries are, because I tell you what, it'll make for a much, much smoother Christmas. So much love, good luck, have a good one, and I shall see you next year. But if you need any support, then catch me on Instagram, catch me on Facebook. I come into the Eden Room once a month, so I'm there for you then. Any questions, DM me. Always this, kaigraham.com/book. It'll take you to Amazon and you can go and grab a copy. It is a bestseller, so you can grab a copy there. A bit like Christmas reading, how cool is that? Shove it in someone's stocking. But I will speak to you soon, and if you need anything, get in touch. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.